All right, let's see what we got going on today. Back up here on this Glycol skid. Oh, I guess I turned that off. What I need to do is I let this, basically where I left off, I circulated those pumps and everything. I'm letting that sit to make sure all the air's out. And then I don't know if these guys tied in this stuff at the rack yet. Yeah, that's all tied in. So we're good on all this, it looks like. I'll have to get with the foreman to see if they've pulled vacuum or if they have it pressurized or what. I don't want to just hit Schrader's in case it's in a vacuum. But let me have, since this thing's starting up, let me go over here, make sure we're still good on the pressure where we left it at. And then bleed that air out. Let me grab, let's see. Let's pop this one real quick. Got a little bit of air coming out. I want to see that solid stream of glycol before I close it. See this one. That one's got some air coming out too. Okay, so I'm gonna let those bleed a little bit. I like seeing it's like a solid stream. All right, I got confirmation that they already pulled vacuum on that line set. So our liquid line and our two suction lines going to our DX rack, or our DX of the skid, already got put on vacuum. So all I'm gonna do is open these up. And I'm gonna start trying to chill that glycol. We got cases going in tonight. So I want to start circulating that glycol, get that glycol nice and cold. And then as soon as we drop cases, man, all we'll have to do is open that up and they should start dropping temp pretty quick. I've already tested these pumps, right? That was in that last video. I'm just gonna kick these on. They are both running. I'm just kind of letting this thing kind of take control right now. So yeah, everything looks good. Like I said, I'm just gonna let this thing run, kind of figure itself out for a minute, maybe get on the phone with the manufacturer if I need to. But we're gonna see what's happening with it. And then I'll turn this thing back on with any updates. All right, so I got the skid out there running. I decided to come look at the controller, see what the rack was doing. This is a medium temp rack, right? I got 6 compressors on here. And right now, all the compressors should be calling. You can see we're only maintaining 50 pounds, which is not good. Right, 50 pounds, this is an R22 rack. Right down there. R22, baby. Still living in the golden ages. We're really only maintaining like 50 pounds right now, and that's with every compressor running. So if I go into compressors and click on status, you can see all 6 compressors are running, right? So 50 pounds for R22 is like 35 degrees. This is the lowest I've seen it get so far, so maybe one of the circuits might have gone into defrost. I'll have to check. But it's been sitting at about 50 pounds, which that ain't good. That ain't gonna cut it. So we might have to wait to get this thing fully operational until we start cutting some of these circuits out, because that's what's going to happen. All the circuits that are going to glycol, these are all getting turned off up here and getting cut out. Yeah, see, look, you can see that suction pressure going back up, and I'd be willing to bet like this, where is that? Like this one right here, I bet this one is in defrost. Oh yeah, look, see, defrosting. So that's even with circuits defrosting, so this ain't gonna work until we get some of these circuits cut out. So basically all I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pump this thing back down. All right, I'm just gonna turn off the liquid line, leave the suction lines open for right now. And let me make sure those EEVs are at 100% open. Our suction pressure is down to 21. So, okay, so that's good. 20, 21, let me go see, let's go see what that rack suction is. Yeah, rack suction's at 19. So I'm just gonna close these off and just isolate this again. All right, finally got some cases in. So what I want to do is start this thing up, open it up to the rack, turn that on. Got this pump running, so I'm just leaving that one pump on for right now. So this thing's running. It's trying to open that valve, or it is opening that valve. You can see that valve's coming up, 55. So what I want to do right now is come over to the rack and turn this thing onto the rack. All right, so I already got these all opened up earlier, so I should be able Then I'm going to slowly crack this liquid. All right, we should be live over there. So what I want to pay attention to now is my suction pressure here. All right, so we're obviously going to start going up because we just put more of a load. I want to see what my compressor's doing, which ones are running right now. We took a decent amount off. So right now we only have 2 stages calling, which is great because that means that we have more compressors to pick up the new load of the skid. Also bring that head pressure up. So yesterday I wanted to record it. I got called here. This is the drive for the VFD right here, or the cabinet for the drive. Right now this condenser is just running 100%. So this drive decided to die yesterday. So what I did was I just took it from the main power supply and just plugged it right into the condenser. And then there's a good chance I'm gonna be replacing this. I told him if it was up to me, I would replace the whole cabinet. But that's why that head pressure is so low right now. Up here on top of this walk-in, we got one coil here. This is our supply, that's our return. We got these little circuit setters, solenoid valves. Another coil over there, right there. All I'm doing is I'm just trying to make sure there's no air in these lines. All right. Oh, good there. Check this one. Oh, bleed those things out. Make sure I get all the air out of these lines before I start up this skid. And then here's the produce island we just put in. So these are all run off KE2 case controllers. They have, where are they at? Right here. They have the boards underneath the cases, right? And then I'll show y'all, but you got to connect to those through Wi-Fi. But these are the new produce cases. Then we put all this in. Those same valves are up there. I had to bleed those lines earlier. And then I just got done adding like another drum of Glycol. So I'm about to go up on the roof and get this party started. Get that skid running, and then I come back down. I got to program all these still. But we'll be able to get this running here shortly. All right, so I turned these pumps off earlier so I could get back to my static pressure. What am I trying to do? Right here. All right, so I'm back up. I had this thing running earlier. I had the skid running, circulating Glycol, bringing it down in temp. It worked fine. But then since we opened up these new line sets, I turned everything off, and I wanted to get back up to my static pressure. That way I know I have enough Glycol in it. I'm gonna check these valves one more time just to make sure there's no air sitting at the top here. Just a little crack. So here's a little air. And here, same thing. So there is some air in here. So I'm gonna let these bleed out, and then I'll go back over to the panel. All right, got those vents bled out. My static pressure is still good, so I'm gonna go ahead, kick that on. For this drive right here, I'm just doing one at a time right now because I noticed when I turned them both on at the same time last time, they were both wanting to run. I'm gonna let this run, I'm gonna make sure all this stuff comes on, and then I'm gonna go back downstairs and start programming that case. That way that thing can start running. Okay, so I'm gonna start programming all this stuff. You can see these cases are run by these KE2s, right? And then, or each coil has its own KE2. And they all have this CDS, which I don't know why this one's not plugged in. Work with me, honey. The CDS solenoid on the supply. I believe this is the supply, and then also this balancing valve. So I'm gonna start getting into these, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. So these KE2s you have to connect to via Wi-Fi. So what I do is I first reset to factory password. So you go to login. What is it? Enter. Yeah, and then put in the password. Enter and hold. Right, and then you got to come up to web password right there. Press enter, reset, enter and hold. And then once that goes out, so now back out, and then you have to go into it. So you press the back and the right arrow at the same time. Right, now it says Wi-Fi on. Now I'll come over here and turn my Wi-Fi on. Where are we at? And I'm looking, it'll pop up eventually. Sometimes it takes a little bit. I'm gonna forget this network so it doesn't connect to the Walmart Wi-Fi. So right there, case controller 250, so 0048. So what I always do is I always write on these just in Sharpie. 0048. Oh, right there, right? 0048. Because each one of these case controllers has its own address, right? So I just write it on there in Sharpie. That way you can still see it, but it's not like noticeable. All right, so we'll go ahead, click on that. Okay, so then you go, it pops this up, right? You go log in, right? And then from here, click here, and from here, this gives you all your case information, right? It's pretty good once you get in the app. Sometimes they're finicky with like letting you in, like in this little app. But once you're in, it's pretty good. And then you hit this little drop down, and you set. This is where you go. Set points, and then you just go through all this, right? You set your target temp, what type of, type of valve, just all of the refrigeration information, go to your defrost. This is where you set everything up at. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so I got these all programmed. Currently at temp. These things are set point for 30 degrees with a 1 degree differential, but these are all programmed in. These are all running. So I think that's it for this one. I think I'm gonna end this video here because basically we got more cases to do. We have the produce lineup, we have some meat cases, but it's basically gonna be the same thing that I'm doing right now. So as always, I appreciate everybody. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and yeah, thank you. Later.